right, welcome back to the Tolleson-Mack podcast. We're in Prescott, Arizona. This guy to my left, again, doesn't need much introduction. Chance Kelton, the Northern Arizona king of the Cowboys, we'll call him, huh? Chance, I've known Chance a long time. Cesar's known him a long time. Brandon, too. He's a good friend and a good buddy. What do you know about this guy, Cesar?
Man, he was a hero when I was a kid. He was making the finals when I was coming up, and he was always exciting to watch. He roped with Doe Lockett, and it was just fun to watch them guys rope. They were Chance back then really set his heelers up to throw fast. You'd see every one of his heelers just tee off, so it was fun to go and watch him rope. And roped Michael Victor and stuff, and just like so when I was a kid, he was somebody I looked up to.
What are you up to now, Chance? What are you doing?
And I just run the ranch at home, and we got 400 head of cows that I take care of. But mostly we've been doing the junior rows and high school rows with my kids, and keeps me really busy.
Yeah. I imagine. Yeah, you got some up and comers that are ready for some titles, huh?
I hope so.
Yep.
Yeah, I hope so.
How they doing? Where are they at? What are they doing?
Well, Kinsey's out trying to win Rookie of the Year this year, so she was here Wednesday and left here and went to Oakley, Utah, and then they roped at Mandan this morning, and I think Bellevue, South Dakota in the morning.
And Catch, where's he at?
Catch, he loaded up and wanted to go try the 4th of July run with Brent Lewis. So he's in Amarillo with Brent Lewis, getting some calf roping lessons and just trying to get sharp with that. I'm not a really good calf roper, so there's a lot of stuff in there that I really don't know about. So he's over there. He called the other day, and he won the open roping at Amarillo. Him and Denton Dunning, won it, and they won 8,800 a man. And he called, and he was so happy he beat Joseph Harrison. And it was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, he's
17 years old and be Joseph Harrison. That's doing something.
Yeah, so he's going to need to get used to that. I watched him up here one time, a long time ago. He's riding like a little pony, heeling on and just rank little dude on a pony. Yeah, so we had Judd on earlier, and we were talking to him about raising them boys to ride bulls and like how you bring them kids up. Like you try not, in the bull riding side of things, you're not going to put your 7-year-old on something that's rank and is going to get him hurt. So how did you bring them kids up slow enough to where they wouldn't get themselves in trouble, but enough pressure on them they could take it to the next level?
I don't know. There was a bunch of junior roads associations here in Arizona. There's 2 or 3 of them. So for a while, we did a lot of that. And then eventually we stepped away from that to do the jackpot deal when they got better, to win more money. But the pressure situation is, you come to my practice pen, there's a lot of pressure on you. It's no bullshit. We're not jacking around. This is business. So there was no playing around in my practice pen, so I had a lot of heat on them right at the get-go. So when they go somewhere, they don't bother them.
They don't bother them. They're used to it.
I've been bouncing on them there for a while.
You've seasoned them, and got them ready for that. Yeah, Cesar talks about that sometimes, that, when you go into the arena, like, you're not there to jack around or play around or throw your rope at the end of the arena, like, you're there to do business.
Yeah, we're not just chasing cows throwing ropes at them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that, it's sad you go rope with people, and it's a hobby. They take the ice chest of the ball to the arena, and, it's just ha, better luck next time, and not in our pen.
Not in your pen. Well, not when you guys are, like you said, your daughter's going to try to win Rookie of the Year. Your boy's beating Joseph Harrison. There's a reason.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
you got to learn how to use all your stuff. The roping is easy. Now you got to learn how to ride your horses and learn how to win.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hardest part. And growing up, just all the junior and high school rodeos all over the country now.
Everywhere.
It's so awesome to go and haul your kid. Sure, you're the king of the hill in Arizona. Let's go across the border over here in Texas and Oklahoma. Man, there's a truckload of you right there.
Yeah.
And you don't win shit.
Right.
But don't get mad. Don't get discouraged. Just go home and figure out why.
Yeah, because that's, you're taking them over there to step them up that next level. You know what I mean? Because we do talk about that in Texas. The high school Texas bull riding high school finals looks like a dang PBR.
Mm-hmm.
Them bulls are rank. They're as rank as anything they had here. Cody had some good ones here.
But those boys have been brought up like my kids have. Their dads are professional bull riders, and it's no joke. And So they're prepared all the way up. But to go over there and be competitive over there is that lets my kids know that we've made it. Now it's just keep your shit together and keep your horse working good and do your job and you'll win.
You guys use a lot of these performance horses on the ranch?
No, my colts I start. So yeah, I used until they're 3-4 years old on the ranch. But here lately, that shit don't make it anymore. So you got to go buy better bred horses. They got the cow horse going so much, and to ride that, to train that to be a rope horse is pretty easy. And then he's already seasoned and he's been to the show pen. So it's a whole different deal now than training your own horse and bringing the ranch horse to the arena. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a fine line.
Yeah, I could imagine. I mean, yeah, Cesar touches on it, the horse performance and things like that. It's obviously it's the whole deal. How did you end up here today? We watched you run.
I like any of this rodeo and roping, and it's just tough to find a guy. I just want to come here. I don't want to go nowhere else. I've rodeo, I've done that. I don't want to go nowhere else. And it's just try to find a good guy to come here and be competitive. And so I haven't entered here in 3 years, I don't think, in the team open, just because, they want to go more and more and more. And I sit at home and I train horses, and I go to the overflow ribbons in Wickenburg in the wintertime and to season horses. So when he's good enough, I give to my kids. We'll see that horse I rode today. I raised that horse, and that's my daughter's good head horse. Mm-hmm. And she just happened to drop him off at my house and went breakaway, so I thought I'd use it.
Might as well pull that one out, right?
Mm-hmm.
You doing the horse show fraternities?
I haven't gotten to that deal. I went and judged for Matt Zanganella's Royal Crown Dead and Buckeye this year, and that's a whole different deal. Man, those guys, all your top 20 guys, they're horse trainers. They've been through it. They know it, and they're riding the best horses money can buy right now. So I've got 2 4-year-olds that I'm going to try it with, but they haven't been cutted on. They haven't been showed in the cow horse. I mean, they're just ranch horses. I raised her at the ranch.
Yeah.
But to get a horse to that level, man, they've got to be out and they've got to be showed. And to just jerk your ranch horse out that you think's pretty good, hey, man, it's going to take you a couple of years.
Yeah, for sure. It's no joke right now. To deal with Trevor Brazil and Miles Baker and those guys, man, you got to see Trevor over there and them head horses he's got. They were 4 years old, 5 years old. They were full fledged.
They could ride with the finals right now.
15 run hands, beautiful stout. That's a 4-year-old dude. It's like, gosh, dang,
Yeah, but how many miles does that horse have under his belt?
Oh, he's been. I can guarantee they did some kind of showing on it when he was 3.
Sure.
By the time he's 4, it's just another deal.
He's already seasoned.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. But that's how that game's going. So like you touched it on it. It's a totally different ball game when you jump in that horse show category.
Mm-hmm.
And then rodeo is a different deal too. Like today, it comes out of the same side. Your head horse today was the best one, I thought. You rode a lot of good head horses, but to come across mine and then to rate like your horse did, and then give your healer a good shot the way he did. Like these steers are so light, and that horse picked him up and just rolled him around there real sweet.
Yeah, but then again, like I raised that horse, I own her mama. I've got 4 or 5 siblings to it, and ain't none of them like it. They're all bred the same, but they ain't nothing like that. But the good horses, they're not made. They're born great. Just like Michael Jordan. He was born great.
Tiger Woods, he was born great.
You didn't show him shit. You gave him a ball and a club, and he knew how to use it. That's what I did this horse. It just worked.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want to, head, wheel, trip, steers, whatever you want to on that horse, and she is outstanding in everything.
That's awesome. You've tripped steers on her, huh?
Oh, yeah.
That's an awesome horse, man. Because we talked about calf rope, how good a calf horse, well-trained a horse a calf horse is, but a steer tripping horse, that's a different animal right there. That's need more power, need to pay attention, little things like that. Same thing when them guys tell them, whoa, them horses stop.
Yeah, but if you get one of them burgers in a wreck, they seem to listen a little better afterwards.
That's for sure.
That's funny right there. But yeah, I think a lot of the good ones have been in there.
Oh, absolutely. They tell you he's not a good horse until he's been in a wreck, until he can bounce back to it.
Yeah. I understand.
Why don't you guys explain for the listeners a little bit of steer tripping? Because nobody gets to see that on TV. All these other events, everybody's pretty comfortable in knowing what's going on. But what is the steer tripping?
It's a cowboy event. It's a real. I mean, I don't
Cowboy
event. This is a cowboy event.
It's your first rodeo event. I mean, not in the saddle bronc riding. This is how these guys doctor cattle for real, no bullshit, on the ranch. But now they've turned into a sport, and the more speed you get into it, the more you start to hurt stuff. But when you get it done right, to watch those good guys, it's flawless. Like Guy Allen was just amazing to watch. Just the way they handle the cattle, and then you get a bunch of these guys that just want to steer rope, and now they think it's just get on the horns, throw it over the hip, duck out, and pick up the pieces.
Right.
But like Trevor, he was just like Guy Allen. It was just picture perfect. They never hurt nothing. It was done correctly, but it was fast.
Yeah. Really fast. I actually watched him steer trip at Lazy E one time, Trevor, and I thought, man, that's cool. I mean, if you were really doctoring cattle on the ranch, you wouldn't have hurt that steer.
No.
You know what I mean? You'd have went back there, tied him, doctored him, let him up, and on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of something like that. So you guys do steer tripping here?
We did Wednesday, yes, sir.
Wednesday you do it here?
Uh-huh.
How many entries do you get, or is
We had 43 guys this year.
Oh, that's pretty good, huh?
That was awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And you run them all?
We run 3 in the slack here Wednesday morning.
Oh, there you go. Okay. And, are the steers that you use in the steer tripping pretty similar, like the bulldog steers, team roping steers, or are they kind of their own size? And
No, they're about the same size. You just keep them drawn up, a little thinner. You go to jerking me down, you're going to hurt me. You jerk Cesar down, you're not going to hurt him.
Yeah,
So if you got it prepared right, and it's just, there's a lot of preparation into it. But you bring a big fat steer in trip them, it's not going to go good.
yeah, that's one thing that our listeners, I think, are starting to catch on by reading the comments is they didn't really realize how much is all on the backside of them shoots. All the goings on, you guys sorting the cattle and like Kirsten sorting and bucking horses and not bringing them until they're kind of 6-7 years old, or however they do it, whatever. But there's a lot that goes on the backside that nobody really gets to see, and that's what we're trying to get out to these guys, because that's kind of what everybody wants to hear about. So.
Well, like our team roping steers and bulldog steers, they have them sorted up here an hour before the perfs to draw them off water to just shrink them up a little bit. But we do ours the day before, and then it just helps the injury.
Yeah, it just helps it. Well, that's pretty interesting, and like I said from the comments, I mean, we see that's kind of what people like to hear about. So.
We talked a little bit earlier about it. I'd kind of like to talk about it because today we seen a hellacious wreck in the team roping, man. The barrier caught the horse's front foot, jerked him over, and as long as I've been rodeoing and going to the BFIs and stuff like that, when they have an electric eye, lead legacy barrier, it's usually worked pretty good. We talked about, I seen that it wasn't pulling fast enough, and we seen a pretty good wreck.
And what happened last night in the breakaway also.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And it happened to Taylor.
And Taylor, yeah. But that was the neck rope. And I've been trying to get away from the neck rope for years in the junior high, or the High School Rodeo Association. It's so touching. If a guy doesn't know how to use it, it's deadly.
Right.
As we seen Clay Smith last year here. But then again, these guys want to have you come out of the same box, makes the box even wider, and then throws the barrier in there, which wasn't popping fast enough, like Cesar said. And Lead Legacy, he's got it down to a science. And he does the BFI every year. And when his barrier pops, the crowd knows it.
You can hear it.
You can hear it.
You better not be standing on the end of it.
He goes himself, and I don't know why he's not here, but he was at Clovis. He did the barrier at Clovis, I believe at Guyman. Mm-hmm. They've been pulling him in from a lot of Sheridan last year. They put him in there because the barrier, their batteries died or some stinking thing. He had to go over there and help him out and put his system in there. So I don't know why it's going to take somebody to get seriously hurt to change shit.
People are getting hurt, dude.
Why they're not listening?
I mean, this guy is.
Who was that guy that got hurt?
I really don't know him either.
Last name was Yates.
Yeah.
But I promise you, he runs traps there again. He's gonna be a little tendency.
Yeah. He might be breaking more to the pin.
He's not riding. He's not gonna be riding hard.
No.
And he ain't gonna ride the old paint for a while.
No.
Old paint didn't look like he was doing too good after that deal.
What we're talking about is a bungee. The Lead Legacy has a certain bungee cord that pulls. It's a bigger round. And it's springy. It pulls fast and it pulls hard. What these guys got over here are just regular bungee straps. You know, the regular rubber ones. They got, you can say 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, they got it wrapped up. You know, there's 3 or 4 pieces of bungee over there, and
It pulls quick for a few feet, but then it just gives. It's not going to.
Which, yeah, it looks like it dies. Like, if you watch it from this end, because we can see it real good from this end, it looks like almost after it goes past the head horse, it just kind of
falls out.
yeah, like dies. And that's why it got that guy on that paint horse, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And these steers just kind of dead fresh walking out of there. They're holding them horses back. So when they give it to them, they're going.
Yeah.
You know? So do you think that that's maybe something they should look at? Or, I mean, how does that work? Can you guys go to them?
I would
don't know.
like to say the PRC needs to look at their judges. You know, I might be stepping out of line here, but somebody needs to. They won't let a team roper come and just bull ride, but they got their bull riders judging on a team roping. I was at the college finals. My daughter made the college finals here a couple weeks ago at Casper, and we were up there. And the judging was terrible. The flaggers, and they're PRC judges. We have PRC judges come to our high school rodeos, and they have a hard time even riding a horse. You know, so how come we don't have bull riding, judging bull riders, and team ropers, flagging team ropers? They just, I don't know.
Yeah, we had Dustin.
That's a touchy
That's a
situation.
touchy situation, but it's true though. We need to kind of have a team roping or kind of a tiny event judging, and then a rough stock judging going on over there, because I feel like, especially the crossfires that are going.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It's the guys that are nowadays. The healers are going to be thrown there every time now. It's not like it's good.
But you know what's so great about this TV stuff we got nowadays? I sit at home and there's a rodeo on every day, 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
It is cool as shit. And then I get phone calls about, hey, how about that guy flagging that guy out? How about this? How about that? You know, I mean, this shit's been going on for years.
Years, man.
But now everybody gets to see
They
it.
finally get it publicized on TV, and now I hope this shit.
How many times did Brent get called out when he was riding back in the day? Because like Chance sets him up to throw fast, man. That's his deal. So like his healers are teeing off every single time.
Well, and then you know, I grew up watching Mike Beers.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh,
he got called out a lot.
a
Yeah.
lot, and got away with it a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know. You just see a lot of stuff on TV that needs to be fixed. But
I mean, it's
it ain't gonna.
a touchy subject, and nobody really wants to talk on it too much because everybody get pissed off about it. But I don't really think that's out of line for you to say the team roping needs to be judged by guys that know roping, and the bull riding can be judged by guys that know bull riding. I mean, that's common sense. Like, we had Dustin Hicks on here, and we were saying, man, that dude would be a good flagger, because I mean, he is a good flagger, but in the pros, because he knows.
He's actually crossfired one before.
Yeah.
He's got called out for crossfire, so he you know.
When you go to a rodeo, they've got 6 judges, and ain't none of them ever worked the time events.
Right.
They never swung a rope.
That's
Never,
not-
you know what I mean?
What the hell?
That makes no
This
sense.
guy is judging my life.
Yeah.
This is my
It's
livelihood.
not livelihood. That's why they get so mad for getting called out. You know what I mean?
You know, and then you get mad, and then they fine you. And you know, hey, well, after the rodeo, hey, let's go judge this, and I'll show you. And they won't even come to your trailer or look at your videos or not, and try to get better.
Yeah.
So whoever's doing the seminars, I don't want no part of it. But we got to get some guys in that know what's up.
Really do.
I mean, how would like, say, you guys or guys in the PRCA go about talking to somebody and just saying, hey, we got to figure this out? I mean, because we can all talk about it and they ain't gonna listen, but I mean, you guys go to Colin, maybe.
The money involved nowadays, like something's got to change, man. There's
Yeah, because like you said, that's their livelihood.
yeah, like,
You know, I mean, or you know, you're sitting 16th, you're on the bubble, and you get called out for a crossfire and you don't get to make it to the NFR.
Or 36 and
Or-
can't go to.
You can't go nowhere. Yeah, I mean, it's.
I missed the finals by $3 one time from Dakota Kirch's logger meeting. You know, just $3.
$3.
Man, you can look back and think, oh man, that was 50 runs. I could have got that $3.
How many times you been to the big show?
I made it 3 times heading.
3 times heading.
How many in the steer trip?
5.
Who'd you rope with over there in the?
I roped Brent Lockett for 3 times, and then the third time he broke his leg at the cow palace, and I got partnered up with Monjo Petsia.
Oh, okay.
That was a hellacious wreck over there too. That was one of the nastiest ones.
What happened?
You can tell you were there. Better story, but
It just, you know how they have the pulley from the calf rope or barrier? I guess the pulley must have been sticking out. They didn't have it tucked behind. Mm-hmm. And usually guys will ride in there and tuck it up because they usually hang their rope on it when they ride by.
I do it all the time though.
But this time here, I guess Brent didn't check it out, and his horse broke wide and ran down that right wall and hit that pulley on his leg and jerked about a fist amount of meat out of his leg.
Oh shit!
And not to mention broke the leg in half.
Oh.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was gruesome, man.
Oh, that ain't no kind of bueno.
No.
And yeah.
And we can't catch a judge for that one.
No, well, no, you get fined.
Because of that wreck right there, I always go to the pulley, look at the pulley, and pull it, and wrap it around and make sure it's out of the way. Cause my horse would break down that rail a lot. If the steer goes to the right, my horse is breaking down the rail there.
So when something like that happens, Chanson, you got to drop like Monty Joe or whatever. I mean, had you guys roped before that, or is it like, hey, how's it going? I'm Chance Kelton. I'm gonna rope with you at the finals. Like,
yeah, no, it was last minute deal right there when that happened. I mean, Monty Joe was on the ball. He's an old veteran back in the day.
Yeah.
I really didn't know what was gonna happen, but he let me know.
He let you know.
So, no, it's good to have that guy on my side.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though, man. Just hey, and I mean, I guess you're doing your job on your side, and he does his job on his side, and rock and roll, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, what else? What else you doing this weekend? You got another one tonight?
We're up tonight, yeah, and then we go home and hang out for a couple days, and I got to go pick up Catch in Amarillo and head. He's going to go to Shawnee to the high school rodeo there, and then to Gillette for the high school finals, and back to Lazy, get qualified for the little Ironman thing.
Awesome. Yeah, he won. Didn't he win the Ironman?
He did. Yeah,
he won
I'm a fan of that guy, man. Yeah. He's got a lot of talent. He'll head, he'll do anything.
How old is he?
He's 17.
Yeah, when I seen him on that pony, I was like, this kid's badass.
Cowboys.
And they're like, that's Chance's kid. I was like, yeah. So, all right.
But he loves it. I mean, sun up to sundown, he's outside. He's doing something. You don't have to tell him, we'll get the steers. We're going to rope. He's always waiting on you. Hey, man, what's taking you so long?
We got to rope steers out.
We got to rope.
You need to practice.
So he's a go-getter. And you got to have some drive, some fire. And he's got the fire.
Yeah, that's cool. Got to swim with the sharks. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, man. Well, we'll let you get back to it and do some ranching, and good luck later on.
Sure appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thanks,
buddy.